In the summer of 1951, New York City never slept. Neon lights flickered across concrete canyons. Streetcars rattled. Jazz spilled from basement clubs. But one night, in the heart of Times Square, time itself may have broken. At exactly 11:15 p.m. on a June evening, eyewitnesses reported something shocking. A man, confused, wide-eyed, dressed in outdated clothes, suddenly appeared in the middle of 42 Andy Street, as if he had dropped from the sky. Within seconds, a taxi cab struck him. He was killed instantly. But when officers searched his body, they uncovered something that would haunt the NYPD for decades. Not just a man who shouldn't have been there, but one who shouldn't even exist. The man appeared to be in his early 30s, clean-shaven with a curled mustache. His hair slicked back, parted neatly, like something from a daguerreotype. He wore a black wool coat, sharply pressed trousers with silver buttons, and highly polished shoes with leather soles, not rubber, not synthetic. Everything he wore felt wrong for 1951. Inside his pockets, officers cataloged the following items: a copper token from a saloon that closed before the Great Depression, a receipt for the care and stabling of a horse, dated 1876. Business cards that read, Rudolph Fentz, 5th Avenue. A billfold containing antique currency, long out of circulation. And finally, a crumpled letter, yellowed with age, postmarked June 27, 1876. All of it was real. All of it was old. But the man holding it had just died. Detective Hubert V. Rim was a quiet man, methodical, patient, known for chasing leads that others gave up on. He didn't believe in the paranormal. He believed in facts. He started with the name, Rudolph Fentz. But modern directories turned up nothing. No social security number. No recent address. No job history. No immigration record. No military draft registration. It was as if the man had never lived. Then, a stroke of luck. Rim dug into old police archives and found a thin, crumbling file from 1876. It described a man named Rudolph Fentz, age 31, recently married, who had vanished one summer evening while out for a walk. His wife reported him missing. Search parties were dispatched. But Fentz was never seen again. Until 75 years later. Investigators cross-referenced every item in the man's possession. The ink on the receipts. The cut of his clothes. Even the manufacturing techniques used on the buttons and coins. Everything matched the late 19th century. Eyewitnesses said the man had looked terrified, lost, and dazed. He spun in circles, stared at street lamps, and backed away from moving cars. He tried to speak to passers-by, his voice formal, antiquated, like someone from a long-gone era. "Where am I? What year is this?" One woman said he dropped to his knees, holding his head in disbelief. Moments before the taxi struck, By the 1950s, the U.S. government was deep into Cold War experimentation. Mind control, surveillance, and, allegedly, time travel. Some theorists believe Rudolph Fentz was a test subject, unwilling or unaware, caught in an experiment gone wrong. Could the military have cracked temporal physics decades ago? Freedom of Information Act requests for the name Rudolph Fentz have been met with silence, denials, or sealed files. In one redacted memo obtained in the late 1980s, the following line was visible. Anomaly recorded in Manhattan sector. Subject exhibited signs of temporal displacement. Immediate containment recommended. Was it connected? No one knows. Or, someone does. And they're not talking. Skeptics point to one source. A short story written in 1972 by Jack Finney called The Other Side of the Hedge. It tells the tale of a man from the 1800s who finds himself suddenly in the modern world. But here's the twist. The earliest published account of the Fentz story dates back to 1953, in a newspaper column. 2 decades before Finney's book. So, who copied who? Some believe Finney read about the case and fictionalized it. Others argue the story was already being suppressed, and the book served as a deliberate distraction. Oh, that old time travel story? It's just fiction. But what if fiction was used to bury truth? The one we can't quite dismiss, time travel. Every detail about Rudolph Fentz, his items, his story, his disappearance, aligns too perfectly. Could a rift in time have brought a man from 1876 into 1950? Attempts to trace any living descendants of Rudolph Fentz have failed. No death certificate from 1876. No burial record. No family history. Just nothing. One local historian spent 10 years searching genealogy records across New York and Germany, only to conclude he existed only for a moment. Like a ghost caught between centuries. To this day, his original clothing, coins, and personal effects are missing. NYPD's evidence file for the case has been marked incomplete. Time is supposed to move in one direction. Steady. Relentless. But what if, every once in a while, something slips through the cracks? Was Rudolph Fentz a time traveler? An experiment gone wrong? Or a hoax wrapped in just enough truth to make us question everything? We may never know.